All right, well, it's wonderful to be here. And I want to just test the can you hear me okay? Is it too loud? Is it too soft?
Your mouth is getting puffy.
Is it? So more away from my mouth?
Yes.
How about like that? Is that okay? Okay, good. Thank you. So I first want to acknowledge all the women in my life. You know, the friends, the family, my mother. Many of these women came before me, and I stand on their shoulders. They crafted the path that I walk. Some of these women confronted me and called me out to be more of who I am. Some of these women I play and dance with, but all of these women have been a problem for the culture that wanted to put them in a box. And I want to make a very brief honorable mention for those of you who were here last week at Open Circle when Jitendra did a stunning rendition of the life of a woman named Larusa, who immigrated to Ajijic in the 1940s, lived here for 40 years. She was a problem. She followed her passions that led her life. She was an activist when she came here for Lake Chapala. And Jitendra and his husband Luis, they have a project to paint a mural at her very humble gravesite just to honor a woman who was a problem. So please see him at the end if you would like to donate to that cause. So I chose this title to be provocative. Stop abandoning yourself, babe, and start being a problem. Because so many of us, as we have grown up in this culture telling us how we're supposed to be and who we're supposed to be and what we can and can't do. And some of us had to fight to express ourselves, to fight to just be our unique being in the world. Some of us had to fight to survive. And just checking in, how many of you relate with the identity of being a rebel at in some way in your life? You had to, right? So look at, I know, I am talking to the rebels right here. So, given the topic, right, let's have some fun. And also, I want it to be a little thought-provoking, and it might also be a little uncomfortable. But I'm going to make that fun. Okay? So, is it okay if I lean in a little bit? Yeah. Just nod your head.
Yes.
Now, what I mean by a little uncomfortable is I'm going to invite you at different times, like for the women to turn and share something to another woman, and a man to turn and share something to another man. Now, this is Open Circle. This is Sunday. You know what? You do whatever you want. And if you want to sit there and enjoy your coffee, please do that, because that's what I would do if I really wanted to do that. I want to share a little story. So, and it's about my partner George, his oldest son. And so his oldest son is in his mid-40s. Or he was in his mid-40s, and his lifelong partner, girlfriend, had just broke up with him. The first thing he did was knock on his dad's door. George opens the door, and this 45-year-old policeman, well-built, crumbles into George's arms and sobs.
Oh, yay.
Now that's the kind of relationship that they have. And several years later, Michael is dating a new woman, and he wants some advice from his dad. And the problem is that his new girlfriend is an entrepreneur. She's having a business issues, and she goes to her brother, who is her business mentor and has been for years. Michael is upset about this, and he's jealous, and he wants her to come to him. So he phones Dad. Well, George comes to me and says, what do I say? And so I said, well, tell Michael to encourage her to go to her brother and talk for advice. Because that way, that will build trust between them, and she will then, of her own accord, come to speak with Michael in the future. That's exactly what happened. So, I just share this story because for the men who are here today, if you are here with a woman, your wife, a friend, please make it okay for her to not share with you. Because, you know, as I'm a woman, I know many other women, we don't want to upset the men. You know, we want them to be okay. And so I just put that out there. But again, remember, do it your way. Women, when and where have you been a problem? When have you spoke out? When have you gone too far? When have you felt too much, not enough, stepped out of line? So in a moment, women, if you're up for participating and playing, please turn to, in a moment, another woman somewhere near you and just let them know when, where were you a problem? Doesn't matter when that was. Now, for the men, if you want, you can turn to another man, and here's for you to share. What do you think of the title of this talk? Stop abandoning yourself, babe, and start being a problem. So you're going to have about 2 minutes. It's not a lot of time. So, please go ahead. Back. All right, so are you ready to really be a problem now? Yes. I mean, are you really ready? And what I mean by that is, are you ready to be a problem without fighting? Without defending yourself? Without cutting off certain people because of the way they respond and react to you? Are you ready to be the kind of problem holding a space of love? Yes. And holding your ground in that space of love. And not compromising yourself, not capitulating yourself, not trying to create the peace, not, muddy the waters or rock the boat, because you know what? It's time to rock the boat. It really is. I mean, isn't this what you want? Isn't the world falling to pieces everywhere? The world is calling for something new. It's not calling for another war. It's not calling for more politics. It's calling for something new. And that is a path that we haven't walked yet. We can't figure this out through our heads because that's where we get caught in all the war and the fighting and the opinions. It's a path that we haven't walked there before. So let's go there today. Let's just put our toe in the water of what the possibility of that new path might be. Can we go there today?
Sure.
So, Carl Jung is quoted to have said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light." but by making the darkness conscious. But by making the darkness conscious. So what that means is by embracing our own darkness, being conscious to it, our own shadow. And our shadow, I mean, those are the bits of ourselves that don't really like that much, not really proud of. So we keep it in the shadow, right? Tuck it in there. We don't have to look at it or be with it, pretend it's not there. Now, you've done a lot of work, right?
Right.
You are not the same person who you were ages ago, right?
Right.
And still, you're not done. I don't know one person, no matter how evolved or enlightened, who doesn't have still sometimes a bad thought about somebody else, who still complains, sometimes a little even wee bit, or still it puts themselves down, sometimes just a little bit. Now, maybe these things don't show up as much as they used to, but you're not done, and I know you know what I mean. So my question to you is, what's one of those little unhelpful habits that you don't really like about yourself? Now, I'm going to call out a few of mine. So, not that long ago, a friend of mine, Suzanne Sims, who many of you know, she asked me to sing in one of her concerts. Now, she's a professional singer. She's not going to ask someone who can't sing. But what am I thinking? Oh my God, I can't sing. I can't even get all the notes right. You gotta be kidding. Right there. That's one of mine. Thinking, I can't. Let me call myself out again. I receive an invitation, that email, someone invites me to a party, and what's initially there, just like that, is I'm so grateful that I'm wanted. Somebody wants me. Now, I've done heaps of work on that, and that doesn't continue running the show, but initially that's what is there. And then another one. So I was at that concert singing, but just before I got up, I had everyone else, my Suzanne is just sublime. The other singers got up and they just nailed it. And I am sitting there comparing myself with every single one. And I am thinking, and it's my turn next. I'm about to get up. And I start thinking, oh my God, the people are going to be expecting me to be professional. I can't get all those notes right. I'm not, And now if you were there at that dinner, here's what you would have seen me do. That's what's going on in my head as I'm standing up and I'm about to. Now in the past, I would have pushed through that. I would have tried to overcome all this comparison in my head, and it would have been awful because it's still there. But here's what I did. I was like, whoa. Well, I'm comparing myself. You know what? I'm just going to pretend this is karaoke. Got it. And so I got up, I took the mic, and I said to everybody, so just so you know, I'm telling myself that this is karaoke, so it doesn't matter if I get any notes wrong, and when I'm done, it's your turn, okay? And everybody laughed, but that was one of mine. So, what's one of yours? What is one of your little unhelpful habits, shadow pieces that you don't really like to have seen by too many? And no, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep this fun, right? Because no sense in making this deep and meaningful. So here's how you're gonna do it. Whatever it is that you're calling out, because you're taking your torch, that's what we say in New Zealand, you're taking your torch, your flashlight, you're gonna shine it right? Make the darkness conscious on one of those things. You got to say it real fast. So, in a moment, women, maybe turn to the same woman, or men turn to the same men, or you can say this in your head, doesn't matter. And you're going to go, so my bad habit is, I still judge myself. So you're going to say it real fast and then come back, like pretend you didn't say it. Okay? When I say go. Ready, set, go. Okay, thank you. That's all the time we're giving on that one. Sorry. Done. Over. That's all good. Flash the lights just like that, right? Done. Now, you know what it is, even if you didn't get a chance to say it. Now, in your body are the cells of your ancestors, and in the bodies of your ancestors are the cells of their ancestors. And in the bodies of your children, if you have children, are your cells and the cells of their ancestors. So you're kind of connected, right? You get the same cells and lineage running through there. There's a growing body of research that I want to add to this, and they studied trauma, demonstrating that trauma is passed on from generation to generation to generation, which means that a newborn baby can actually have the markers of trauma in its body as if it experienced the same trauma that its grandparents experienced. Wild, isn't it? Now, if you want to know more about that research, I recommend this book here called It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wallen. It's filled with pieces of research like that. And it also mentions that habits as well, interesting enough, can be passed on from generation to generation, and not knowing exactly how that happens, but it appears that that is the case. So I just want to mention, so that habit that you just called out, you just shone the light on, you know what, it might not even be yours. Maybe that's something that just got passed on. Now what do you do with it, right? Now that you've got it. I want to make just a little tiny segue to family constellations, which is a group process that takes these habits passed down from generation and does work to resolve them. Powerful. There's a woman here in Ahihique called Leah Green, and she facilitates these. If she's not here today, she's in the U.S. If you do want to know more about that, though, Gayla, do you want to stand up, Gayla, so people know? So at the end, just go see Gayla. You can find out about family constellations. Thank you, Gayla. Now, coming back to you. Coming back to you. So in the cells of your body are these connections. Now, to add to that, let's have a conversation about quantum entanglement. No. But let me say very briefly, quantum entanglement, like just so simplified, is when two particles are paired together and then separated. This is in quantum physics. This research has been done over and over and over again because they cannot explain it in the realms, in the confines of the reality that we currently think. But when these two particles are separated, when something is, when one particle is manipulated, the other particle responds in exactly the same way without even having been touched, as if it was being manipulated in the same way. So that's quantum entanglement, I know. My mother. I used to live in New Zealand. I lived in New Zealand for most of my life. And my mother lived in Canada. So we would have these marathon phone calls. And this one time I had this big insight. I'd been going out with this guy, and I had made so many changes in my life to be with him. He didn't live in the same town as me, and so I made arrangements to operate my business from another town, and he lived out in the country and he didn't have internet, and so I had to find spots where I could find the internet. Sometimes I was sitting beside some farmer's field out in my car trying to work. I mean, the feats were amazing, right? But I wanted this relationship, and so I asked him one day, so what changes have you made to be in our relationship? And without pausing, he says, none. You have made it so easy to be in relationship. Right? Big eye opener. So I could hardly wait to share this with Mom. Well, no sooner, I don't get a chance. The moment she answers the phone, she starts telling me about this big insight she just had with her boyfriend about how much she's been compromising herself. Right? Exactly the same insight. And this wasn't the first time this happened. Quantum entanglement? I don't know. Now, let's come back to that little habit that you identified. Because here's the thing, whether it's yours or not, it's using the cells in your body, it's using your energy, it's using your time and your effort, and the power is in your hands. Because your consciousness right now, you're in this now present moment. And if quantum entanglement is real, if all the cells in our body are connected, what if just you making one alteration to the cells in your body, what if that impacted not only your past, but your future? Like, what if? So, let's do a hack, shall we? Sure. We're going to hack that habit. Now remember, in the beginning, I said, how about if we just go on a little journey of taking a step on that new path that we've never walked before. So just remember, that's what we're creating here. And so this hack goes like this. What are you declaring you're done with? Like, I am done with comparing myself. I am done with playing small. I am done with judging other people. I am done with not being happy anymore. And you could, maybe now that you really get the gist of all of this, you're like, well, I'm going to pick something even bigger than that one little unhelpful habit that I called out earlier. Or you could say, I'm done with that, whatever that is. Now, ages ago, I declared to myself, I am done with comparing myself. Now, just because I declared that, does that mean that I never do it again? No. But the moment I declared it, it shifted something in my body in the now moment that impacted my future and I trust impacted my past. Because in that moment, when I was about to get up and sing, I had never shifted that like that. And I'm clear that it was my declaring it way back then that put a line in the sand, that made me more conscious. And when we shine, just like Carl Jung said, when you shine that light there and you start seeing it for what it is, you claim your power back. So, ready to do a hack? In a moment then. So women turn to another woman, man turn to another man, and it's okay if you even do this in your head. It really doesn't matter. What are you done with? What are you declaring you're done with? Exactly. So many choices. All right. So, In this moment, you have altered the cells of your body. Right in this moment. And in that, given quantum entanglement, given connection, you have altered your past and you've altered your future right now. And you've opened yourself to receive something new. Because that's what happens. When we start releasing past, you create space inside yourself. And it's this something new that will enable you to hold a space of love, like we talked about earlier. So in a moment, and to guide you through a little closed eye process. But first, if you'll allow me, at first, I'd like you to pick one characteristic that you want to be more of. So what is it that you want? Maybe you want to be more loving. Maybe be more kind. Now, it's not saying that you're not already these things, because when in a good moment, you're one with God. You're one with Source, right? You're just infinite. But you're human and you're not always there. So just check in with your humanness. What is it that you want to be more of? More generous, more compassionate, more courageous, more happy. Pick one thing. Just one thing. Just hold it in your mind. One thing.
Oh, God.
Okay, you got that one thing? Okay, now, in a moment, when I guide you in this closed eye exercise, there'll be a moment when I will say to generate the feeling of that characteristic. So if it is, you want to be more happy, it'll be generate the feeling of being more happy. Now, your mind might be thinking, well, how do I do that? I wouldn't have picked being more happy if I didn't have enough. Like, I don't have enough of it, so how do I know how that feels like? That is the ego mind speaking. If I were to say to you, okay, now make yourself feel sad, you'd know how to do that, right? So, in a moment, make yourself feel the very thing you want more of. See, no one told us we can do this, but you actually can. So it might take a little bit of effort, but this is called alchemy. You're going to shift the chemistry in your body from where it is now to an elevated level. So, please close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, allow your breath to soften. And with your breath softening, breathe in a little bit longer, breathe out really full. As you slow your breath, allow your body to relax. Just hearing the sounds of the water and the birds surrounding you. Feel your feet grounded. Relax your shoulders. And allow your breath to soften your face. Allow your breath to soften all the tiny muscles around your eyes. And allow your breath to soften your heart. As you bring awareness into your heart center, just allow your heart energy and your consciousness to fill your body. Expand through your body. Just relax. let go. And allow your consciousness and your heart energy to expand beyond your body, reaching out to the sounds of the water and the birds. And now bring awareness back into your heart and begin to generate that feeling of that characteristic that you want more of. Just beginning to feel, even if it's there's a tiny little spark of that feeling. Let yourself be a novice, new at this. Feeling whatever it is, more lovable, more kind, more happy, more courageous. And feel it. Let yourself feel it. Bring awareness to that feeling. Just let go of thinking, am I doing this right? I should be feeling it more. Just let go of that. And just feel whatever is there. Good, good feeling. And just keep feeling that good, good feeling. Letting this be the alchemy you're shifting in your body, feeling really good. And now, just open your eyes. Just opening your eyes and that good feeling. You know, there isn't one person here who doesn't want to be a better person in some way, who doesn't want to be more good in some way. Not one. And yet, not everybody here votes the same way. Not everybody here thinks the same way, has the same opinions. And yet, you are holding a space of love and goodness all together. And my question, because this is the problem I'm talking about, can you be a problem in the world, holding this space of love and goodness, even in the face of an old culture that still wants us to fight with each other, to judge each other? Can we hold this space of love and goodness instead? Not knowing what you're going to say or what you're going to do or figuring that out in advance. And I'm not saying let's just ignore what's going on in the world and pretend it's all fluffy cakes. I don't have an answer, and I know you don't either. But I do know it's not any of the old answers. And all I'm saying is, can we hold this space of love and goodness and allow the love and goodness to guide what you're to say next, to guide maybe the silence you keep, and just hold that space of love, to guide your next step. And this is the problem the world needs right now, without really necessarily knowing it. Can we be that kind of a problem to hold our ground together? And I know that this will take courage. It's a good thing that's what you've got. I remember one of my clients the other day, we were talking about this in a class, and she said, well, Leanne, that's all nice and good. I can get it conceptually. She says, but then there I am with my family at a big family dinner, and we have certain agreements. There are things we don't talk about. But there'll always be that one who says something, and then that'll spark the other, and then And I said, we all understand that, right? We all know what that's like. And I said to her, I don't have an answer there, but here's what I do know. If you're holding that space of love and goodness in your heart, first of all, you're going to interrupt yourself saying and doing your thing. That's going to inflame because you're reactivated. And in that space of love and goodness, you, wise one, you, courageous one, are going to find something to say or not say that comes from love and goodness, and that is what will begin to shift something out there in the world. I think that's how it's going to start, as with you and me. So, have we got time for questions? Or
Yes. So,
Yeah.
time for questions, please. If you have a question, raise your hand. Questions only, please. And please wait for the mic. And we have our first question here with Angel. Okay, Angel.
Thank you so much. It has been a great subject, okay? Years ago, being gay, I was pleasing people until I realized I'm going to live my own expectations, not somebody else's. But I have a question for you. This is on a personal level. But how it will help us, for example, myself, I lived so many years in the United States. I created behaviors, habits that conflict the culture of the United States with the culture of Mexico. What can you suggest to everybody?
Thank you for that question, and it's a big question, and I honestly don't have an answer, and I don't think any of us do, because it's our already planned and thought through answers that are the problem, because we can only keep sourcing the past, and when we do that, all that will happen is the past recreates itself, and we have more division, and we agree to disagree, and that's not what the world is calling for right now. Like I said, from what I can see, this is a path we have never walked before. And when you and I, each of us, hold that space of love, because we just did. You just held that space of love and goodness in your heart. And it's the love and goodness inside you, not inside somebody else. It's inside you that's going to guide you. And you might not even know what it is you're going to say. And let's say you're going to a meeting and you know you're going to be confronting some of this stuff. You don't know what you're going to say. But if you take a moment to come into that place of love and goodness, just generate that, whatever that feeling was that you want more of, generate that inside. And then speak from there. Do from there. Take that next step from there. It's going to be you guiding you, you guiding you, you guiding you, not somebody else with your answer anymore. I think that's how we're really going to find our power. It's going to be your answer that's inside you, but guided by a new place. And I just want to acknowledge that you, as many of us, but you have also lived through so many challenges in the culture we have grown up in that has, we're all so wounded as we have been just fighting to be ourselves and to live a life that gives us joy and happiness. And I want to acknowledge you for your courage in that. But I think this is our next step.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Come on, Leslie. Oh, here we are. Bob, thank you.
Thank you so much. My question is simply, when will this the video be available for us to share?
Well, I will process the video tonight, and it will be on our Open Circle channel on YouTube. So if you search on YouTube, you will probably find this video there tonight, or at least tomorrow, and you will find all the past ones. We just haven't got the videos on the website. So if you just search for Open Circle, and if you look for Leanne Babcock, you will see this video there, either tonight or tomorrow. Depends how much time I have. Okay?
Another question?
Another question here?
Yeah.
You can stand, so...
Do you think that the whole process of getting in touch with oneself,
Yeah, give the mic.
do you think that this whole process of getting in touch with oneself, putting the torch to the shadow, and then continuing to do that, not just individually, but in society with other people, is going to be the trigger that shifts the whole thing?
Well, what I see is that's what's happening. You know, more and more people are being attracted to doing breath work, doing shadow work, doing meditation. I think that we're naturally being drawn that way, whether consciously or unconsciously. And as far as I can see, at some point, something's gonna crack big time, and that's gonna be the light, right? And I can feel it. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Like it's heading that way. Yeah. Can you feel that?
Oh, yes, and I just want to recognize you as an impetus and a trigger for all of that happening here.
Well, we all are, right? It's like that's like I see this. Like there isn't any one that is further ahead, or it's as if we're all making this amazing feast together. Let's just say we're making a big pot of soup. And can you imagine if everybody wanted to be a spoon? Like, but the spoon's unique. But then could you imagine that soup being, because everyone wanted to be salt, so it's just salt. But every single ingredient makes a difference, and that's, like, I couldn't be here if you weren't there. And we couldn't deepen into these questions and this conversation if you weren't saying these things and asking these questions and truly thinking. So it's like every single ingredient needs to be there, and there isn't one that's more important than the other, because imagine a pot of soup without a pot.
Have any more questions?
It's more of a comment than a question. Thank you. I love that you source the change in our inner change. Can I be the change that I want to see? And that for me, moving into more self-esteem is what allows me to tolerate my feelings. I think that's what happens for me when I'm talking to someone who thinks differently than me. I get so stirred up, and I stop thinking, and I stop being present. And so just that moment of recognizing the inner work that allows me to take the pause. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you. And then the other thing, I took this really amazing class. It's available free for everybody, Acceptance and Resilience in the Time of Collapse. And one of the things that we looked at was the wisdom in indigenous cultures. And I don't think we have to be making it up all the way. I think that each of our individual contributions is important. But I do think that there's a lot of wisdom from ancient pasts that we can learn from. I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have time for one more. If anyone has a final question, you have one. Well, let's get this.
So I'm really good at knowing this one quality Like, I'm listening to Path, I'm listening to this man, and it's nothing personal. You just said, just questions, no comments. So, Luis is supposed to be here 15 minutes ago. My I know mind just takes over. It's really quick. My I know, you're doing it wrong, he's doing it wrong. And then I get triggered. And then I lose my patience. And it's really a matter of, I've married a perfect partner because he's the most patient person in the world. You know, I can't even draw a straight line without getting aggravated. He's like most patient. What would be the one thing that you could say to help me to culture more patience and just be more patient all the time in every way?
I love that question. I know it personally. I declared to myself just even a few months ago that I am done with judging George. I declared that because in my mind, and it's a habit, there's nothing wrong with George, he's this beautiful man. It's right here. Right? It's right here. And so I was, out of habit, looking for everything that was wrong, you know, and then reminding him of that. Well, I mean, thank heaven he's just so patient, and he knew that that really wasn't who I was. But there was a moment when I went, I am done with judging George. And then, because I had shone my light on that, it's like, I see you. Every single time then that a judgment came up, I was like, nope, I don't think you anymore. Nope. The cells of your body operate by habit. You're not a victim to your body. You're not a victim to the cells of your mind. They just operate by habit. Tell them what to do. Teach them, tell them what to think. Tell them what not to think. Every single time you catch it, and you will find, bit by bit by bit, you will have one of those moments when, just like I had in that concert, and I was about to crumble, and I went, no, this is karaoke. You will have one of those moments when you go, oh, no, that's not even important to me. And you're done. And your heart will be filled with love automatically, just like that. That was just like the hack we did. You know, I'm done with this, and you opened up something, and then you generated a feeling, and that will begin to happen naturally.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Thank you. Great presentation. Sure.
I just want to thank you. Just to finish up, I want to thank you, courageous beings, for allowing me to guide you on this little journey to get a taste of what could be possible in this new path. And I invite you to go out there and be a problem for good. And just remember, if you would like to find out more or donate some money to the mural that's being painted for La Rusa, please see Jet and Louis when he gets here. And if you want to find out more about family constellations, please see Gayla. She'll be standing by the tree. And if you'd like to find out more about the work I do, so I have online courses. I also, when I'm here, I run breathwork sessions because people are interested in that. And also I might run another course on intuition. But I have, you can just sign up if you're interested in being on my newsletter or course, but I'll be right here. Thank you. Blessings on you.